Hello everyone. Now we're going to get started with the share function. This is where everything starts, and this is how you want to start using your app. The first thing you want to do before you start using your app, just so you can utilize it and try sharing different things with yourself to see what your prospect would see from you, would be to put yourself into your own address book. So what I mean by that is you would just go to your home button on your phone, you would go to your phone button on an iPhone, and then you would be in your contacts button like here, and then you would just add yourself, a first name, your last name, your cell phone number, as well as your email address. So you want to make sure you can do that, okay? So before you get started, make sure you put yourself in there. That way you can share, like you'll see, to yourself, so you can see how the system works even better after you do this training. Okay, so let's get started with the share button right here. This is where all the content is housed that is shareable. The system is allowed to share text and email, allowed to share videos and PDFs. And so you'll see that the whole system is set up by country and language, and the default will be based on what country you're in and therefore what the assumed language is. However, you can change it, okay, by going ahead and hitting the drop down, and you can see that we have a number of countries here that you can scroll through. Okay, so if I wanted to select, let's say I have a prospect in Mexico, I could tap on there, and you see that it's defaulted to Spanish, and you can see that all the content now has been defaulted to Spanish, okay? So I just wanted to show you that's how easy it can be to change the country and language for the prospect that you're going to be marketing to, okay? So let me go back to my default, and then what we have here is three main categories of content, or multiple categories of content. This right here is called our main header, initial contact, and this is the area where you want to start your prospecting with. You want to begin sending this kind of content, and then the main header, initial contact, is broken down into what we call subheaders. So here we have the local sample sequence for the Vita Energy. Then we have the BizOp local sequence, okay? Then you have a long-distance funnel, and then a business opportunity long-distance funnel. Then we get into the second category, which is your follow-up, okay? So you initially contacted someone. Now it's time, after they look something, you want to send follow-up content. And the follow-up content is not only listed here, but it's also listed left to right. You can scroll back and forth this way as well as up and down this way within the media grid under the share button. So this is where your follow-up content will be. Then you have content about your products, and we have your products broken down in subheaders of nutraceuticals. Again, you can scroll left, right, weight management, athletic performance, anti-aging. And then finally, the last main header is presentations. And this flows with an assumption of how you would recruit with your prospects by initially contacting them and piquing their interest, followed by with a follow-up, more product information, and then a presentation. And again, these presentations are here left to right. Okay, so that's how the system is laid out underneath the share button in what we call our media grid. So if you want to share something with somebody, you would just simply hit the share buttons that are here. These little white share buttons are here, okay? If you want to just watch the video yourself, you can do that by simply hitting the red button. All of these videos play off of YouTube under a protected system that we have. So you must have internet connection in order to go ahead and play the videos as well as share and use the app. So you have to have internet connection. So let me go ahead and show you what it's like to send a video via the app. Let me take this business opportunity right here. Let's take this introducing FuXion right here, share button. You simply tap the share button, and what comes up is a sample message that is already written for you so that you can have that to share, okay? And it's going to be here for you to use, and you're going to be able to change it if you want. You can modify all these messages, but they're here for you to use. However, there will be a link, and you don't want to ever change that when sending a video. So you simply hit the next button after you review. Next. And then you have a choice of going to your address book, which is if you're new, you're going to want to pull from your address book. If you don't have somebody in your address book, you can manually type them in right here. Or once you start prospecting somebody, after the first time you sent them something, whether here or here, they're going to show up under existing prospects. So let me show you. So I'm at a new prospect via the address book. I'm going to tap on that, and it calls up your address book. I'm going to find myself in here because I did put myself in. There I am right there. There's my mobile number, yes, and there's my email. And you can see that the app automatically grabs them and fills it in for you, okay? If you don't have a phone number or an email, you're going to see that it works fine with other methods of sending. But we're going to talk about texting and emailing here. So let me hit the next button. And what the app offers to you is the ability to send it via text, email default, which is our server system, email using my iPhone, which means allows me to go ahead and modify that, or text. And then if you're utilizing WhatsApp, Facebook Messenger, Line, or WeChat, these options will appear for you to use as well. But I'm going to go ahead and send it via text right now. So I'm going to just hit the next button. You can see you can move it around, but I'm going to go to text, hit next. And what the system has is a built-in follow-up reminder system. And it's for 1 day, 3 days, 7 days, or no reminder. I'm going to go ahead and select 1 day. I like my reminders coming in 1 day. So it's going to do that. And after you do that, it's going to pull up the text message for you. And you can see this is the exact same text message that was offered during the preview. Okay. If you want to change it, you can by simply tapping on it at this point, and you can just change it and everything. But what you don't want to do is change this link right here. This is the video link, and it's very specific to you and your app. So you do not want to modify that. But if you wanted to add a little something or change this up, you can do that. I'm not going to change it. I'm going to go ahead and just hit send. So at this point, you're going to see the text message will come in to me, and it's right there. Okay, and I'm going to open it up. And this is exactly what your prospect will see. It's got the information with the hot video link to check it out. So I'm going to click on it. And what happens is that the app would then take your prospect to a landing page, which is laid out very nicely with the video here, okay, as well as some information about the video, how long it is, a link directly to your website so they can click over and check it out if they'd like, as well as your contact information that's in our system. So it's a very nicely, fully mobile system. If it's an email you send out, it looks nice on their computer, but if they're viewing the email or the text on the mobile phone, it's going to be mobile optimized just like that. And so when they tap the video and start to watch it, you're going to be notified with a push message that they've watched the video. I'm going to go ahead and do it for a brief moment. And what happens is it's going to blow out the screen here a little bit on the software I'm using to show this to you. Okay, so it starts to play, and you may not know, but I've already gotten a push message that this has already started to be watched. It's very nice, okay? So I'm going to back out of it here. So we go back to the video, and I'm going to go back to the app now. Tap on the app, and you'll notice that I got a push message that has just come in that I have viewed the video introducing FuXion. It gives the date and the time that I viewed it. It gives the prospect's information so you can follow up quickly. So just like that, you will know when your prospect watches the video, and you'll be notified with their contact information so you can contact them very quickly. Very simple, easy process. You can then close out that push message, and now you can go ahead and share to somebody else as well. So that's how you share via text. Let's go ahead and show you how to share something via email. So let's go ahead and go to this one right here. I'm going to share this video right here. Okay. Again, it's going to go ahead and show you what the pre-written information is about. So I'm going to say, okay, fine. I hit next. But this time, because I've already added that prospect in, I don't have to go back here or here. I can tap on the existing prospect button. In the existing prospect button, I can go through, and there I am, John Presky. I could just as easily search for it. So if you have a lot of prospects, you can search for yourself very quickly like that. You can select it, and you can see that the app automatically fills the content in for you to have and utilize just like it did the last time. Let me go ahead and hit the next button. So instead of text, I'm going to go ahead and use my iPhone this time. So I tap on that. I hit the next button, and it pulls up, as you can see, my email client right on my iPhone, just like I was sending it myself. You have the name, it's in there, it's to it suits, the subject, it's got the information, and you can see if I tap on it, I can add, I could add right here, add the word hello if I want, and do that. But do not mess with this link here because you don't want to mess with that. So let me go ahead and send it. And just like that, the email is sent out. Now let's go back to the home button. And I'm going to go ahead and go quickly to the prospects button to show you something by finding myself and showing you. So if you scroll down, and again, you could search, but you can see my name is right here. And what you can see is I am now a prospect in the system. My information's in here. You can see that my join date is today at my local time, what my current language is, the country. When do I have a reminder that's going to come in? Exactly 1 day from today. I don't have any notes yet. And then you can see that the last thing that happened is I watched a video less than 10%. So it gives you the idea of how much video they've watched and when they've watched it. And that gives you that good business information that you want to have. So let's go back to the home button again in the upper left. Let's go back to the share button and review what we talked about. So first thing we talked about is your ability to go ahead and pick the country and language of the prospect that you want to send something to so that the content is in the right language. Then you can go ahead and select from content that is under the initial contact button or under the follow-up button or under the products button with subheaders, or then finally under the presentation button. What we also went over is that when you click share, it shows you a pre-formatted message for you to use, and you hit next, and you can see that you can select new prospects from here, or you can add them if they're not in your address book already. And then once you have sent something to somebody and they're an existing prospect, instead of having to go find them, you can simply hit your existing prospect button and it will get you to the existing prospects so you can continue to market to them. What we then talked about, and I'm going to select myself again. There we go. And then what we talked about is that there's a way you can text somebody by simply selecting text. We talked about how you can select your own email client, whether it's an iPhone or Android. And then also there's always the option to just send the email utilizing our servers, but you will not be able to modify that because if you see this, when I select that one and hit next, okay, it automatically sends it just like that. So you do not have the opportunity to go ahead and modify it. In addition, what we talked about is that you'll have the ability when you first market to somebody to select a reminder for them. And it'll either be 1 day, 3 days, or 7 days, or you can say, no, I don't wish to have the reminder. And what will happen is when that time comes for the reminder, you will be reminded via push notification and an email so that you know to follow up with that prospect. Okay, so now that we've gone over that, that's how you send prospecting message via text or email. In the next segment, we're going to talk about how to use the various chat apps to send messages as well. Thank you, and we'll get started again shortly.